It's Throwback Thursday, so we're throwing it back to the Umbra. I've just been informed by my lawyer that today is actually Saturday and I could be sued for making false claims. So just to be clear, today is not Throwback Thursday. Now what could you do on a Saturday? I guess you could stare out the window and watch the grass grow. Or you could join me for one of my epic live streams on YouTube every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. There's gonna be cats, there's gonna be pie, there's gonna be TDS, and there's gonna be whatever this is. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. What's going on, Cat Gang? Harrison here with 2 cats and a resurrected zombie Umbra. Look out!
Roger that, we're gonna take her out.
In case you haven't figured this out, this video is going to be 40 Pursuits versus the Umbra. And the truth is, I don't have much hope for this challenge. When we lost with the turrets, I thought, that's okay, the accelerator will finish the job. But then when the Excels didn't finish the job, I thought nothing can beat the Umbra. And yet here we are, trying to win with Pursuits. So even though this might be a lost cause, let's go ahead and look at the Pursuit stats and compare them to the turret and accelerator stats. The damage per second at max level for the Pursuit is 67.54, while the max level DPS for the turret is 108.7, and the max level damage for the accelerator is between 270 and 375. So as you can see from these stats, the Pursuit doesn't have a lot of hope. Basically, these videos are going to be a way to compare how the different towers do when fighting the Umbra alone, because I also made the Umbra fight the Ranger, the Golden Minigunner, the Swarmer, and even the Executioner. So I still have all those videos to show you. This means I'm not really worried about whether or not we win or lose. I mean, I think you can figure out from the Pursuit's DPS how this video ends. Definitely win. I'm mostly using these games to show y'all the strengths and the weaknesses of the different towers, because even though they have different statistics, they also have different placement limits. So the question now is, are we going to be able to take off as much health from the Umbra with 40 Pursuits as we did with 20 turrets or 32 accelerators? And one other note, if you haven't figured it out by now, the accelerator is always going to do the best in these challenges because it has the highest DPS of any tower in the game. Now I'm going to go over the Pursuit stats to point out the pros and the cons of this tower. I've already talked about the DPS, so I'm going to go ahead and put that under cons, only because it's the lowest DPS we've seen in this challenge so far. It's a good DPS in general, but here it's not going to do us any favors. The one saving grace for this tower is the placement limit. Each player can place 10 Pursuits for a total of 40. But actually, this is another thing that makes this specific challenge really tough. Back during the Frost Invasion event, we used Pursuits to go against the Frost Spirit, and of course we lost. But I want you to note something important. The Frost Spirit has the same amount of health as the Umbra, 1 million, and it gets into our base with about 413,000 health left. That means 60 Pursuits were able to do 587,000 damage, and the reason it's 60 Pursuits and not 40 is because 6 people can play on that map. So the real question here is not, can the Pursuit do more damage to the Umbra than the turret, but really, can the Pursuit do more damage to the Umbra than it did to the Frost Spirit? And that answer is going to tell us some important things about the map layout, since I'm pretty sure Totality Tower is longer than Outpost 32. Oh wait, hold on. I just checked the new history page in the official TDS wiki, and I found out that the Pursuit DPS back during the Frost Invasion event was a whopping 97.54, so 30 DPS higher. What do you guys think? Will 60 Pursuits with a 97.54 DPS do more damage than 40 Pursuits doing 67.54 DPS? I think we all know the answer. All right, now back to the Pursuit stats. There are 2 things that make the Pursuit really stand out. It's range and splash damage. Now for the splash damage specifically, this is what got lowered when the solar eclipse event started. From the stats on the screen, you can see that that's what was changed that lowered the DPS so much. This might not really matter because when you're fighting the Umbra alone, splash damage is not an issue, but if she's near some other enemies that are getting attacked, she might take some indirect damage, which is going to help kill her faster. Now the biggest factor that's really going to help us in this epic battle is the Pursuit's range. While 12 is not a big range by any means, the real strength of this tower is that it can move around, making the range absolutely massive. This is really going to come in handy on this map since there are 2 large squares the Umbra's going to have to go around, and then an even larger U-shape towards the end. This means that we don't really have to waste time moving our towers in those areas, since the Pursuit's going to follow the Umbra and continue attacking. And the map layout is really the only thing I can think of that's going to allow the Pursuits to do more damage to the Umbra than they did to the Frost Spirit. In fact, I'd say say the Totality Tower map is perfect for the pursuits for just this reason, but we're gonna find out about that at the end. Right now, I want to say that the supports we used were the DJ and Commander. The DJ does in fact buff the pursuit's attacking range, but not its circling range. And the Commander's gonna buff the fire rate for its guns, but not its rockets. All in all, I think the Pursuit is a great tower in the regular game modes, but it's probably gonna struggle here in this challenge. Alright, now I'm gonna give a shout out to my high-flying teammates for this game: Unspeakable FBI Agent, Penny account deleted, and Venom Cuss 7. Now go ahead and sit back, relax, and grab a helicopter cat, and I'll see you right back here at the end. Okay, hold on 1 second. I am not surprised that we lost. What surprises me is just how much damage we did. Remember that I said in the 60 Pursuits versus the Frost Spirit video that we did 587,000 damage. Well, here we got the Umbra down to about 392,000 health, which means we did a massive 608,000 damage with only 40 pursuits and a lower DPS. How is that possible? It's gotta be the path, right? That's the only major difference between the two games, and I think it really matters with the Pursuit being able to follow the Umbra for so long around those squares without us having to sell and replace the towers, which takes up a lot of time. The Outpost 32 map is pretty much a straight line from start to finish, with only a large U section towards the end of the map. But that doesn't really matter since this map has the same design. Let me know down in the comments below why you think the Pursuit did so much better this time. And on that note, go ahead and smash that like button with your forehead, hit the subscribe button with your big toe, and turn on notifications however you can so you don't miss any of my amazing upcoming content. And I'll see y'all later. Take care, be safe, and never forget what I always say. Peace!